is the GBN Luncheon News for today, Thursday, May 14th, 2026. Coming up in the news, Ministry of Health advances $11 million primary health care upgrade program, and NAWASA announces nightly water restrictions for Annandale system. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago heightened security for parliamentarians following gang threat. Internationally, Russia pummels Ukraine, hitting regions far from the front lines. And in sports, GBSS and GSS advanced to junior cricket semi-finals. The first segment comes to you compliments Bryden and Miners.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted number one.
Welcome back. I am Diedra Sealey with the details. The Ministry of Health is moving ahead with an EC $11.18 million program to upgrade healthcare facilities across Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Speaking at a community engagement in Grenville, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Rhonda Jones, said the initiative forms part of the ministry's 2026 Strategic Work Program and includes improvements to 18 health facilities across the country. Facilities receiving upgrades include the Soteres and St. David's Health Centers, the intensive care unit at the General Hospital, and several medical stations, including Grand Bras, New Hampshire, River Sally, and Hermitage. Projects are being funded through partnerships involving the World Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, the European Investment Bank, and the Government of Grenada. Project Coordinator Dwayne Noel said the initiative is intended to strengthen healthcare delivery, improve emergency preparedness, and expand mental health and digital health services nationwide. With extensive upgrades underway, services at the Grand Bras Medical Station have been temporarily relocated to the Princess Alice Hospital. A free shuttle service will operate between the Grenville Bus Terminal and the hospital during the transition period. NAWASA has announced a new valve regulation schedule for sections of the Annandale water system as dry season conditions continue to affect water production. Effective 9 p.m. today, communities from Belmont to the Limes will have their water supply turned off nightly at 9 p.m. and restored at 5 a.m. the following day. The authority says the measure is intended to stabilize the system, preserve reservoir levels, and improve distribution to higher elevation communities, as well as areas furthest from the main supply source. NAWASA reports that production at the Annandale system has dropped by approximately 24%, from about 2.1 million gallons daily to 1.6 million gallons, due to reduced river flows linked to the ongoing dry season. Consumers and businesses in affected areas are being urged to store water responsibly and conserve usage during the regulation period. NAWASA says additional regulations may become necessary if dry conditions continue or production declines further. And finally, the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force is advising motorists of temporary traffic changes in the Mount Kumar to Chantilly area to facilitate the G-Cruise pipeline project. The new arrangements take effect today, Thursday, May 14th, and will remain in place for 3 weeks. Under the changes, Lamode Public Road will operate as a one-way route toward Mount Gay, while Bolio Public Road will become one-way towards Snug Corner. Motorists traveling towards St. George's from Granitang will be diverted through Boca and Melrose Public Roads before exiting onto Lamode Public Road. Drivers from New Hampshire and nearby areas will also be redirected through the Bolio, Boca Junction and Melrose Public Road. These arrangements will not apply to trucks and buses, which will continue using the regular route. That concludes our local news. Stay with us for our second segment, Compliments Fortune Foods Limited. Now to regional news. Trinidad and Tobago heightened security for parliamentarians following gang threat. More details in this OCM report.
In Trinidad and Tobago, where heightened security measures were implemented for members of parliament after a gang threat triggered a national security incident. Attorney General John Jeremy, senior counsel, made the revelation yesterday in the House of Representatives. His details were limited, but the Attorney General said there was a plot which triggered a situation last Friday.
A member of one of those gangs in that community sparked a national security incident such that all of us in this parliament were protected to a higher degree, and certain officials in the government were given additional protection.
Mr. Jeremy was contributing to the debate on the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Bill 2026. The Attorney General did not specify which community the threat originated from and firmly stated he will not be intimidated. He said the country is at war with gangs and criminal enterprises, taking the firm stance that the government has brought absolute force towards criminals with the state of emergency, which can be seen as a declaration of war. The Attorney General emphasized that the government will continue to target criminals regardless of where they operate from.
And those gangs, I agree with my colleague from Toco Sangre Grande, are sometimes located in Bella Road, Serrano Road, and so on. That the gangs are also located in West Moorings, in Goodwood Park, and in some of the other places. I would not say who are the representatives for those areas.
The Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Bill provides for certain criminal convictions to be expunged from an individual's record. Police say the St. Kitts and Nevis National gun down in Dominica was not part of any regional witness protection or security arrangement. A statement from the police in Dominica says at this stage, preliminary investigations do not suggest any connection between the death and any criminal matter or court proceeding in which he may be involved. The dead man, identified as Iliviti Pemberton, a national footballer from the Twin Island Federation, was shot in Portsmouth, north of Roseau, last Sunday evening. Police say 2 persons are now assisting their investigations. In the statement, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force said the matter is currently under active investigation by law enforcement authorities in Dominica. According to the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, it is in communication with the relevant authorities and continues to monitor developments surrounding the investigation. There had been widespread speculation on social media regarding Mr. Pemberton's presence in Dominica, with some people saying he may have been involved in a regional witness protection or security arrangement. And unofficial results in the Bahamas have shown a sweeping victory for the Progressive Liberal Party. On Tuesday night, PLP leader Philip Davis scored a record-breaking landslide.
I have some news. I don't know if you all have heard it, but the country has spoken. Bahamian people have made their choice. Today, the Bahamian people chose progress. The Bahamian people choose to move forward.
It is the first time in 30 years a party has won 2 consecutive terms. The initial numbers say the PLP won 33 of the 38 seats in the parliament. The Prime Minister is a bit concerned, though, about the voter turnout.
It will take time before the final official numbers come in, but it is clear that today a fair number of Bahamians chose not to exercise their vote rightly. In the region and around the world, participation in elections is declining. So this is not good, and this is not good for the democratic fabric of our society. We must do all that we can to ensure that every Bahamian in every election feels that their vote counts.
The Free National Movement and its leader, Michael Pintard, are to return to the opposition bench in the Assembly. Mr. Pintard said his side is ready.
Our regional segment came to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited. Stay with us for international news and sports.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome back. In international news, Russia is intensifying its daytime attacks on Ukraine, including on regions sometimes far from the front lines. According to President Volodymyr Zelensky, Moscow launched at least 800 drones against Ukraine on Wednesday. The attacks continued into Thursday morning, killing at least 6 people and wounding dozens of others. More details in this France 24 report.
Russian forces launched 675 drones and 56 missiles at Ukraine in the early hours of Thursday morning, Kiev's Air Force said in a statement. The massive overnight assault comes after a rare daytime attack on Wednesday, during which Moscow fired at least 800 drones across 20 regions of the country, according to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. At least 6 people were killed and dozens others were wounded. The latest statistics from the UN are alarming.
More people were killed and injured in Ukraine in the first 4 months of 2026 than in the same period in any of the last 3 years. At least 238 civilians were killed and 1,404 injured in April.
Ukraine and Russia have accused each other of violating the 3-day ceasefire announced by US President Donald Trump last week. And just days after President Vladimir Putin said the conflict was coming to an end, he started ramping up the pressure. For Moscow, genuine peace talks cannot take place until Ukraine pulls its military from the Donbass. A key Russian demand since the summer of 2024, met with flat-out refusal from Kiev.
China's President Xi Jinping told President Donald Trump that trade talks were making progress at the start of a 2-day summit, but warned that disagreement over Taiwan could send relations down a dangerous path. We'll get more details in this report from Reuters.
Donald Trump met Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing on Thursday. The two leaders then kicked off 2 days of talks, with both keen to strike a positive note.
A stable China-US relationship benefits the entire world. When we cooperate, both sides benefit. When we confront each other, both sides suffer.
It's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to be your friend. And the relationship between China and the USA is going to be better than ever before.
The latest talks were aimed at preserving the trade truce Trump and Xi agreed to last October, as well as finding new ways to boost trade and investment. Xi also raised the issue of Taiwan, the self-ruled island that China claims as its own. He told Trump that Taiwan is the most important and sensitive issue in U.S.-China relations, and warned that mishandling it could lead to conflict. Aside from trade issues, Trump is expected to encourage China to press Iran into making a deal with the U.S. to end the conflict in the Middle East. Speaking earlier, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told Fox News that China has strong interest in helping resolve the crisis. He noted that many of the country's ships are currently stuck in the Gulf, while a global slowdown would hurt Chinese exporters. Trump was also joined in Beijing by several top American CEOs who want to resolve business issues with China. Among them were Elon Musk and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. Trump has said he will press Xi to open up China to U.S. industry.
That's it for international news. Sports is up next. The Grenada Boys Secondary School and Grenville Secondary School have secured places in the semi-finals of the Ministry of Sports Secondary Schools Junior Cricket Competition. GBSS defeated St. Rose by 9 wickets at Tantine on Tuesday, while GSS got past GCA at Pearls. The two teams are now set to meet in the first semi-final at Lasajas. Meanwhile, the final quarter-final match takes place today, with Karakou facing St. David at Boucherjou. This year's tournament has expanded from 8 to 12 teams with support from Quality Life Sports, creating greater opportunities for talent identification and youth cricket development. Now for a recap of today's headlines. Ministry of Health advances EC $11 million primary healthcare upgrade program, and NAWASA announces nightly water restrictions for Annadale system. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago heightened security for parliamentarians following gang threat. Internationally, Russia pummels Ukraine, hitting regions far from the front lines. And in sports, GBSS and GSS advanced to junior cricket semi-finals. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Diedra Sealey, thanking you for joining us.